Hello, everyone. Welcome. Get on in. We are going to have some fun today. I cannot wait to show you some of the stuff that we have going on. Now, in order to do this, we're going to do a couple things. I'm using two devices. This is my first time doing this because not only do I want to talk to you about travel packing today, but I also want to show you some stuff today. So I'm in a little bit of a different place than normal. I'm not sitting at my desk because I'm sitting at a big table because we're doing this like workshop style. So come on in, get situated. And you know the first thing that I want you to do, which is as soon as I can get my, window to actually show. Okay, tell me where in the world you are and what it looks like outside your window today. You can talk about weather. You can talk about what your view is. You can talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. And while you do that, I'm just going to go and just hop in. And I want to get my camera set up because I'm going to be showing you, I mentioned like the stuff that we're going to be doing. So I'm just going to like step away. Actually, I'll take this with me so then we can all talk together. And I'm setting up my second device because you don't get to do this beforehand. Since it's all live stream, you have to do it all live. So I'm just going to join from my other camera and then we can hopefully get me in here as well. But oh, I love all the responses that are coming in. Okay, join as a speaker. Now it might get a little bit crazy for a minute. Oh, it won't let me do it sideways. Oh, that's fun. Okay, we're gonna play a little bit more. Lori, I see you're in Kansas City. Very exciting. A beautiful fall day. I love that. Okay, we're gonna do this. We have to do it a little bit differently. What are we doing? Why is it showing this way? Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have myself come in as a speaker too. And hopefully, oh, I know because I'm sharing my screen. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I just want to make sure that you can all see this correctly. Aha! Magic! Okay. And just make sure, let me know in the chat if the audio is coming in weirdly because I am doing some weird stuff with my audio at the same time. So let me know if it's odd. But hopefully you can all hear me just fine. And what you're also going to see is, oh, good. Sounds good. Not weird. Great. Thanks, Barbara. I wanted to make it so that you could see sideways, but it doesn't work like that. Well, whatever. I guess we're just going to do it this way. Do it vertically. Cool. And we'll just like work with the space that we have. I love it. Okay. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. We're going to do a little bit of talking first, and then we'll do some demo. But I'm so happy to see that that works. Hold on. Sharing the wrong view. I'm doing too many things at once. This is how it is these days. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay, so where are we today? Jennifer's in Ohio, a bit chilly, but enjoying the fall colors. Mary's in Yorkshire, England. A lovely autumnal day. Pamela's in New York. Ingrid's in Tucson, where it is cooling down to 68 degrees. Oh, look, just came automatically to my desk without even thinking about it. Hema says, we get a behind the scenes look at Beth's desk area. It's so true. And in fact, you'll all know that this isn't, now you're getting the true behind the scenes because now we know this is not just the desk office area. This is also our garage and we use it for many things. Rosalind's in Montreal. Sonia's in DC. Beautiful day, but a little bit cool. Ron is in Vegas. Beautiful sunny day. I love that. Love that, love that, love that. So you are, now that we're all situated, we're about 6 minutes in. So let's kick this off. If you don't know where you are, first off, look outside your window. That's going to help. Second of all, let me tell you what workshop you're in. We are doing a really fun packing workshop today. This is our first time actually doing a live packing demo, but I thought that it would be really fun and a good way for us to learn from each other. If you haven't been into one of our live streams before, I just want to say welcome. These are really, really fun. It's a great way for us to connect with each other And I do mean connect with each other, because even though it is live stream and webinar style, and I know I'm doing a lot of talking, I still want you all to be comfortable participating in the chat. So use the chat as a space. I'm keeping my computer nearby with me so that I can, give feedback and respond to you all live as well. But you all can help each other. This is a workshop that no one person is an expert in. We all have different ways and styles of doing things. And it's also recorded. So check out the recording in the digital content library after this is done. If you are watching live, you're going to be able to have access to a giveaway, which is really cool. If you're not live, that's okay. You still get to have the webinar, so that's not too bad. Awesome. All right, so next thing on the agenda. Oh, before we really dig in, I just wanted to highlight a couple other really fun events that we have going on in the Member Hub over the next month. The first is, or I guess really 2 months. Oh, no, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Go back. Hold on, sorry. Just apparently Beth can't use technology at all when she's doing stuff like this. Go back. Elizabeth Santos, what are you doing? Okay. I'll stop sharing my screen for a minute so you don't have all the craziness. So there's 2 workshops that we have going on in the Member Hub. The first one is a How to Move Abroad practical guide. I'm going to get that thing back up for you so that you can see it. I just was pressing buttons, and then this is how that happens. It is with Jessica Drucker. It's happening on November 14th, and it is really good. Jess wrote a book called How to Move Abroad and Why It's the Best Thing You'll Do. And she is such an expert in this topic, and is going to do a whole webinar for us for people who are thinking about moving abroad, who want to explore this concept. Why can I not present full screen? No. Okay, well, it's not letting me do it. I don't know why. It doesn't love me today. Open presenter view. Sorry. This doesn't usually give us trouble like it does today, but here we are. Okay. Try again. Allow pop-ups from Canva. Got it. I want to see the whole window. Show them the whole window. Start autoplay. You know what? That's fine. We'll just do it this way. Sorry, everybody. Where am I? What am I doing? Okay, you're just going to look at it from the presenter view slide, because I don't know, technology is not on my side today, so you'll get the whole thing. So on November 14th is a full community conversation. She's doing How to Move Abroad. I mentioned that. She wrote this book, How to Move Abroad and Why It's the Best Thing You Do. I'm looking to see if I have it on my bookshelf with me right now, but I don't. It's amazing. It's just for Wanderful members. You're going to love it. It's really, really fun. The second event that I wanted to call out that is really, really good, it's happening on December 14th, and it's our next book club. So we have a book club that we do every other month, and this one is with Jen Ruiz. She's the author of the book 12 Trips in 12 Months. You might have seen Jen at WITS this past May in Salt Lake City. Her book is all about solo travel. It just came out, I think, in June, and she's actually going to be joining us for the conversation. So it's a really neat way to connect with an expert, but then also have a chance to connect with each other. So make sure that you've read the book. That's one thing that I wanted to bring up. You don't have to read the book in order to participate in the book club. Anybody can come, even if you've never even heard of the book before, you can come. We welcome having you, but it always helps to be able to participate and also have read the book at the same time. So that's what we'll do. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Ugh, I really want to make this bigger for you guys. Anyway, cool. So next thing I want to share is that we are doing a giveaway today. So at the end of our session, hold on, I'm going to do this one more time because it's really driving me crazy that I can't actually share with you. Oh, and you get to see me from the back. That's so cute. All right. At least you're going to see the Canva version. Okay. Ooh, yes. So much better. Thank you, technology. Okay. We're doing a giveaway today. At the end of this session, we are going to give away a prize package of 3 really great things. It is I'll take you with me because I can show you the live items actually. It is a reversible travel scarf. It is a Travalo Pure Sport. Now we've been talking about Travalo a lot because it's a partnership that we've done with this company called Yuzi. And these are perfume atomizers. They're actually refillable perfume bottles that you can use to take on the go with you. They're fantastic. We have a reel on our Instagram that is all about it. You just take the top off, you put it on your existing perfume bottle, you pump it like that, and then you're able to take your perfume. And I know some of these exist in other brands, but this is the original one. It's a woman-founded company, a woman-made product, and I swear to God, it works perfectly all the time. I've never had anything spill before. It's so fantastic. Yes, Nelly is like, yes, I have one of these and they're so great. You also get a foam crossbody bag. There is a strap that you can use for this too. And you get one of these beautiful scarves. So you're going to get this whole prize package. At the end, we're going to pick one winner. And special thank you to Yuzi. They're actually sponsoring this workshop. They have all sorts of travel products. And I wanted to share the fact that not only do they have these travel products that we're giving away, but they also have a special discount that they've offered our whole Wanderful community. So all of our Wanderful members get 25% off their products. You can find the link for that in the Women-Owned Travel database that's in the member hub. It is a really great really great discount to have when we're in holiday planning season. Maybe you want to buy some gifts. And it's really good. Damaris says, how is the scent of Trevolo? That's the great thing about this, Damaris, is you put your own perfume in it. So there's not perfume in here already. It comes as an empty bottle. You take the cap off and then you connect it to your own perfume bottle. You can pump the perfume out of your perfume bottle and put it in this. So you can take your own perfume on the go. That's why I love it so much, because you're able to use whatever you want. You can get a few of them, and I'm like spraying perfume on myself by accident. You can get a few of them all for different ones. You can get different colors to differentiate. They're so good. And yes, I love them. Okay, so go into the Women-Owned Travel database and the member hub and you'll get access to that. What else do we have? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what to expect and some of my more helpful abstract packing tips as we get started with our packing workshop today before we go into demo mode. So a few things to note. So this is a picture of me with my buddy Cash. He was a horse. I rode him for 2 hours in the desert. It was like 95 degrees. And I just got back from a 2.5-week trip where I had 3 conferences, a press trip, and you know you have to look cute on a press trip, and a site visit to a hotel, and then multiple working days, and did it all in a carry-on. And I tell you this not to be like, wow, look at me, I'm so cool, but also because not only can you do it too, but there are some things that really helped me in planning for this trip and packing for this trip that I'm hoping to do with you. Now, a couple important things to know about this. Number one, every trip packs differently. So that's why I think there are so many more workshops that can come of this from all different types and styles of trips. It depends on where you're going. It depends on the level of activity that you're doing. It depends on what you have, at your disposal in terms of resources. So everything is a little bit different. And this one in particular, I wanted to cite the fact that I had professional events that I needed to go to and, look nice. But then I also had like horseback riding that I legitimately horseback rode in sparkly sneakers because that's all I could afford to bring, because you can't bring boots for a 2.5-week trip when you're only spending 2 hours horseback riding. So you have to make choices and work for yourself. I'm going to show you some of my favorite gadgets that I used, including, of course, like the Trevolo atomizer was by far one of my favorite things that I brought. But I'll show you some other stuff as well. We'll do a giveaway with our friends at Yuzi, and we're going to have fun. We'll be able to actually go and look at some of this stuff. I also want to mention that you all can help each other, and I put that on the next slide too, so we'll double up. But you all can help each other. Each of you has favorite products that you've used and favorite tips that you have. So drop in the chat if there's something that you love to do or something that you see differently. Let's all help each other out. The nuances of this particular trip, I mentioned, there were a lot of different things that we were doing. So I was speaking on stage sometimes. So I needed to have something bright that I could wear that was professional, that would be, good to be like in front of an audience. but then I also needed to have clothes that I could just wear horseback riding, in 95-degree weather. And then I needed work clothes, just like comfortable leggings and things I could fly on. There was an award show, so I actually wanted to bring a dress and make sure that I just had something a little bit more glamorous. I also, because it was a professional trip, I had marketing materials that I needed to bring. I think it's also really important to know that I'm decently average to short size. I'm only 5'4", so I didn't need to have any like large pieces of clothing for my height or my body size. So I think that that's really important to know, that every body is different and dresses differently. I also think it's important to know that on this particular trip, I went to a lot of hot places, which means I didn't have to pack 5 wool sweaters and big clunky boots. Can you pack for cold weather on a carry-on? Absolutely. It's just about changing things up a little bit more and prioritizing things a little bit differently. Okay. This is a picture of how my suitcase looked when it, oh, hold on, you're not even seeing it. Well, that's not going to help you, is it? Unless it's behind. Come on, guys. Oh, there it is. It's just taking a minute. So this is a picture of what my suitcase looked like when it was fully packed and ready to go. It is not too dissimilar from how it looks on this demo. I have, in full disclosure, unpacked and repacked my suitcase to show you. So I'm not using like all of my old dirty laundry. But I want to bring in a couple of pieces of the packing philosophy that I found really helpful. And Barbara has this question: how do you workshop attendees handle these multiple events in colder weather, i.e. wedding and hiking and business? Ears open to ideas. Barbara, we're going to talk a little bit about that. I mentioned that a lot of my stuff was warmer weather, but I'll give you some tips along the way, and everyone else in the chat too, feel free to add that. But here's some philosophies that I think really help. Number one is something that I've written about in my book, which I call bring half or use all, which is, I think a lot of times when we're packing, we're always thinking of the possibilities, like, oh, maybe I'll need this for this, or maybe this will happen. And I think what's really important, especially when you have to pack super light, is not packing for the maybe and really focusing on packing for the definitely. Like, am I definitely going to need this? Yes. Am I maybe going to need this? If it's a maybe, then maybe you're packing something that serves 2 functions rather than saying, for example, oh, maybe I'm going to need, high heels. Well, are there flats that you can wear that are going to serve the same purpose that you can use for a few different things at once? So when I say bring half, use all, I say bring half of what you think you need, because we usually overpack about twice as much as we actually need, and use all of what you have. Make sure that everything is serving at least 1, if not 2 purposes. I also use this when I'm talking about like disposables. So if you're bringing shampoo, bring as much shampoo as you know you're going to use, put it in a bottle that you're going to use the whole bottle of, a small travel size bottle. Don't bring like a giant container that then you're using only half of, because that means that you have to bring half back with you if you've only used it. Yes, Rana, we're going to talk about the cubes. I love them. Love them. Okay. The other things I would say, so everything should serve multiple purposes. One of my most favorite things to bring when I travel is a scarf. It's actually in, I'll just pull it out of my bag right now so that you can see it. But travel scarf all the way. It serves so many purposes and is one of those really great unknown situations. So this scarf in particular opens up as a square, which is very, very important. And let me tell you why, because it serves many purposes. It can be an actual scarf. It can go over your head if you need to protect your head because you're going into a place where you need to have a headscarf, or because of rain, can help you with rain. It can be a thing to cover your shoulders. It can be a blanket on the plane. It can be a sarong for the beach. It can be so many different things. So I always travel with a scarf that can open up into a square so that then you can have it for multiple uses. I also really encourage you to wear anything that's bulky, especially if you're flying on a plane. Planes can be cold anyway. So I have one bulky sweater that I always travel with, and you better believe I'm always wearing it on the plane itself. So everything that's bulky, I wear. So I have right now two, yes, I did dress for this as well. This is like my airplane attire outfit. So usually what I have when I go on a plane is I have an under, like this is like my tank top. Then I have a shirt. I have comfortable leggings. I have my very bulky sneakers. I do consider sneakers to be bulky. I have a top layer to keep me a little bit more toasty. And then I have a big bulky sweater to keep myself really toasty. And sometimes I have a coat on top of it. So anything that you can carry over your arm or is a little bit bulkier to put in a suitcase, you want to wear that with you. Yeah, you might be a little bit warm, but it's going to help you with maximizing your packing. Okay. Everything else that goes in your suitcase should be layer appropriate. So Barbara, this is where this helps you. If you're going on multiple events and you have colder weather, having things that can layer on top of each other well is going to help you a lot. So maybe you have a conference and a wedding, but you can have, you know, a dress that you wear for the wedding, but then the conference, there's like a sports coat that you can put over that dress. And now you're serving two functions for one, if the dress is maybe like a simple black cocktail dress or something like that. So I think making sure that you're utilizing layers to also change up the visual look and style of something is important. The other thing that I want to add is that there is no way, so 2.5 weeks is what, like 16 days? There's no way you're going to bring 16 outfits in a carry-on. Like, let's just dispel that myth right now. Nobody, unless you are like 2 feet tall and a baby, you will not be able to fit 16 entire individual outfits in a carry-on. So what do? Number one, you're focusing on mixing and matching things so that you can make multiple outfits out of something. Number two, you're washing. So for me, I packed for 1 week. And that 1 week, I knew at a point I would have to wash that clothing. There were a couple times where I maybe re-wore something that I knew was clean and it was good, especially if it's like a pair of leggings that I'll maybe wear for, 2 times before I like actually put it through the wash. But I will re-wash things, which is a great point to Rosalind's question. Do you bring detergent tablets for laundromats or plan to hand wash certain items if you're always wearing certain items like your airplane sweater? Yes. So there are great detergent tablets. There's also solid detergent tablets that you can bring. I will honestly, I'm going to be really honest with you, which is I will hand wash things in the sink using a bar of soap and clean water and just, if it's like a tank top, just something that you're not going to be able to hand wash your entire laundry. You might be able to actually, but most people probably can't. It might just be like a few articles of clothing. I literally just use like good old fashioned way, like a bar of soap and some clean water. And then I hang it over to dry in the shower. Or sometimes if I really need it fast, I'll use the hair dryer. But I have also found that there's a surprising number of hotels. If you're staying at a nicer hotel, of course, they have laundry services, but that can get expensive. If you're staying at a hostel or a budget hotel, I just stayed at a Days Inn, which was a very nice Days Inn, and they actually had laundry machines. So it was a nice note to say, know where you're going to stay. If the place that you're staying at has laundry machines, make sure to bring a few quarters with you so that you can just do a load of laundry or go to a laundromat or something like that. But I love, Kelsey says, I've brought detergent and a scrubba, which worked. Holly takes detergent sheets, really smart. Jamie also brings laundry sheets because they fold like paper. That's really smart. Maybe put it in like a Ziploc bag or something that's waterproof so that you can have it nice and dry. The other thing I will say is, okay, maximize your personal item. So I'm going to show you, I want to make sure that I'm going into this before I go into, okay, yeah, I'll show you that after. So the other thing I think that's really helpful when you're traveling carry-on only is to make sure that you're maximizing the personal item that you're carrying on. So there are size limits to a personal item. I will also say that those size limits I have found that often, as long as your personal item is wearable, people don't usually pick on your personal item as much as they do on your carry-on. So I have this backpack that I always use for my personal item, because it is fantastic and it holds so much stuff. And I'm just zipping it up to show you. So this is my personal item that I'll take with me. This brand is the Nomadic backpack. It's actually amazing. I'll walk you through it a little bit more, but it has many, 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 many pockets. So all of my tech will go in here. All of my things that I need for my plane will go in here. I'll put a snack in here. I have a water bottle. I'll kind of break it down for you and show you a little bit more when we have some more visual space for the demo. But making sure that you're really using that personal item for anything that you might need on the go, or even for those extra layers is great. And then the last thing is, yes, Jamie, I wrap a sweater around my waist when flying. Absolutely, wear that stuff. And then use containers for everything. I think this is helpful for organizing, but it's also helpful for compressing, which is, you know, having stuff kind of out willy-nilly. It just takes up space. There's a lot of air in between. I like to pack things really tightly and make sure that they're sealed really tightly. And then it keeps it much more organized. You know where to find it, but then you also can kind of, you can fit things better and cram things a little bit better. Okay, this is the last slide before we go into the actual demo stuff, but I wanted to make sure that you got all of that. And it's going to show up on the screen soon, hopefully. Oh, it's taking so long to switch from one screen to another. So it's called Down and Dirty. So here's what I brought, just so you have a sense. I brought 5 tops and 5 bottoms. I brought 2 jumpsuits, like, you know, full on outfits. I brought 1 dress. I brought 3 pairs of shoes, 1 of which I'm wearing. I brought a bulky sweater, I call it business jacket. It's essentially a sports coat, but it's like vegan leather, kind of like more like jackety, and a light sweater, obviously socks, underwear. I fit a swimsuit in there just in case. A toiletry kit, yes, pads, which were very bulky, but they're in there in the picture. And then almost half of my suitcase on one of the sides, so 1/4 of the suitcase, was dedicated to postcards, business cards, bookmarks, and other marketing materials. Rosalind, I hang certain items on my arms, outerwear, accessories, plastic bags, and no one in security bats an eye. That's so good. You know, another hack, which I shouldn't be saying this, but I do sometimes, is, you know, and it's not breaking any rules, but I'll show you in my personal item, I have a second bag inside my personal item. Actually, I have 2 bags in my personal item, but I digress. And that personal item does get pretty full. So sometimes I will, if I want to check something, I'll gate check my carry-on, and then I'll take my other bag out of my personal item just to kind of lighten the load. So then you're going onto the plane with 2 items, but you gate checked your carry-on. So, because they're always looking for 2, like how many items does the person have? 2. So, so that's what I'll have. I'll have like an extra tote bag. I'll put some stuff in that, and then I'll have my personal item. And then, yeah, but Kelsey's right. Some gate agents are stricter. So you have to be careful. And like, I don't want breaking rules, you know, but just be mindful. On some inter-Europe flights, they flag you for it. They made me put on a winter coat into my carry-on. Yeah, you know, can you, Barbara, though, have they let you like wear your winter coat? That's what I'm curious about. If you have it, if you're wearing it, I don't know if they can say anything, but I'm curious about that one. Oh, they don't let you wear it. Oh, that's different. Okay, good to know. We'll figure out the hacks on this one. Nelly, I've gone on board with my personal item. Oh, EasyJet, with my personal item unzipped because it's so tight. Good. And I think that's a really good point, Barbara, too, is some of these like super discounted airlines, they might be more strict than others. I think Europe is going to be different than traveling in the US on both sides. So all of these things, I think it's always going to, this is like our big asterisk. It's always going to depend on who you're traveling with. It's always going to depend on, you know, the rules of the airlines. Some airlines are strict. I have definitely been on airlines where they passenger by passenger make you put your carry-on in the bin, put your personal item in the bin. So know who you're flying with, I think, is a really important takeaway. So that you can see kind of what is the wiggle room with this, because a lot of this packing light stuff is all about wiggle room. Okay, so let's stop sharing my screen and let's go into some of the actual stuff. Oh, see, now you can see me twice. How fun is that? So I want to show you the actual look here of some of these things. So here's our giveaway items. So first, because we're talking personal item, I want to go through this, which is my like most favorite. Let me see if I turn off my camera, if it will like be, oh yeah, good. Now you can see, well, at least some of you can see the whole thing. How good this is. So inside this nomadic backpack, again, is one of my most favorite things. Let me show you why. It unzips in so many ways. So we got this at the Travel Goods Show, and there is, which Yuzi was at actually, there's a little pocket here. There's a little pocket here for some stuff. There is another big pocket here. That's most of your stuff. There's all these interior pockets. Make sure that you can see all of this. So I actually have like granola bars stuck in here for myself. I have a pair of sunglasses in here. This is my plain, this is my tech kit. So this is where I put all of my technology is inside here. Headphones, some of these USB things. If I'm traveling internationally, I'll put a converter in there. Power cords, everything goes in here, and then I know where it all is. I usually take this when there's an overnight flight involved. Inside I have, and I just keep it packed all the time. So inside I have, this is something that Delta gave me once that has like an eye mask in it and earplugs in case I need it. This is another eye mask that I got. This is some sleep aid that I have. There's a few other things in here. Usually there's like a pair of socks that I put in here. So this is like my overnight bag that I need that I always have packed anyway. This is actually breaking my rule a little bit. It's more of a nice to have than a need to have, but this is one of those, if you've seen those mini emergency kits, that's what it's called, mini emergency kit. And it's little tiny sized things that you might need in an emergency. So this is like a tiny little lip balm. There's a tiny nail file in here with a set of clippers. There's a tiny sewing kit in here. There's some breath drops there. There's, let's see, what else is this? This is shoe shine. You never know when you need a good shoe shine. This is stain remover. They're like one single use serving thing. So this is nice just to kind of have like, in case of emergency, you have that. I have an apple. I have a hat that I keep in my carry-on. I have, and then there's all these pockets. I have pens. I love to travel with one of these little bags that you can fold up so that you can have that when you pick up a souvenir or you're grabbing a snack or something like that. Okay, that's in here. Then there's a whole other section that opens up that is compressed. So inside this section, I have a whole other bag. Da, 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 da. Okay, this, because this is a professional networking event that I was going to, I didn't want to only travel with either my carry-on or this giant kind of army style personal item. I wanted to have something else that could be at least a little bit professional. So I brought this, which is still pretty casual, but this is what I love and I travel with it all the time. This bag is actually fantastic. It's from a company called Aruna Project, and they're a social enterprise, and they work with women who are escaping sex slavery, honestly, and they help them get jobs, and they help them find safe housing and get out of their situation. And a lot of them end up working with like very fair wages for this company, and they make these really great athletic bags. And so it's a tote bag, but it's also a backpack, so I can use it for both. And it's big enough to hold my laptop, which is really important for me for a business trip, and it folds very well. So I'll use this as my day bag, but when I'm traveling on my plane, I'll keep it nice and folded away, and I'll stick it in here inside my personal item, so that it's in there. There is another pocket in here because there's so many pockets, and then on the back of this thing, there's a whole section for your laptop. So I have my laptop in here. I'll have a, I'm like hoping that you can see all this. Yeah. There's, I'll usually have like a folder that I'll put all of my important documents in, like my itinerary and stuff. And then when you zip it all up, there is a compression feature so that you can make it much smaller and you can really fit everything in. You can, because you probably put it all back in to show you. And my sunglasses and my little, I'm just kind of stuffing it in right now and not packing it super well, but my emergency kit. Barbara says, these kits are so worth their space. Needle, thread, stain removal, duct tape, aspirin. That's true. And you know what? That's, I think, one of my favorite hacks with just packing in general, not even packing small, but it's just, I honestly keep a lot of stuff packed all the time anyway. Like you'll see my toiletry bag for travel. I just use that toiletry bag on a day-to-day basis. So then whenever I'm traveling, I just take the bag that I always use and I don't have to do anything. So same with some of this stuff, like having a ready assembled plane kit so that you just take it with you and you're ready to go. Having that mini emergency kit, then you don't have to think about it. So, so that's really critical for me. So having this really nice and useful personal item that you can just pack it in, close it up, and then you're ready to go. Oh, and I have a little hair clip here because it's bulky. So there. So that's that. Okay. Does this personal item fit under the seat? Yes, it does. I don't think any of us has enough foot space nowadays on most planes. So, you know, is it not like the most comfortable thing to fit both your feet and your personal item under your seat? It's not great, but it does fit under the seat. So it's very useful in that way. Okay. Let's talk about the, okay, I'm just checking everyone. Okay. Let's talk about the carry-on item itself. So somebody already mentioned these packing cubes. This is packed a little bit differently from the photo that you saw. In the photo, you saw 3 of these and then this, but I couldn't find it because my husband unpacked it and we don't know where it went. So we're using a little bit of a different orientation, but it serves the same purpose. These packing cubes, I adore. They're from a company called Compass Rose. If you're familiar with Travel Fashion Girl, they run the Women's Travel Fest. She actually created her own line of products. And she gave these to me a long, long time ago, and I never even used packing cubes. But now I use them all the time. And I think the thing I love about them, which somebody pointed out, is their shape, because they're made for a carry-on bag. And there's actually 4 of them, and they're numbered and they're colored. So I have 2 that are red and 2 that are silver, and they all are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. And that also allows you to organize in your mind what's in each one. Like maybe you say, oh, the red ones are, you know, underwear and bottoms, and the gray ones are tops. Or, you know, maybe you're traveling with kids and you're like, each kid is going to have their own packing cube, you know, whatever it is. So I love that. They fit right like this. And if you're using all 4 of them, they pile in just like that 1, 2, 3, 4, and they fit perfectly. I love it. But in this case, I did a little bit differently. Jamie says, I need tips on packing regular non-sports bras. They take up so much space, but I need them. You know, that is a really great question. For me, honestly, the bras I have, I'm like, this is me. I'm just like opening up my underwear section. I'm like, hey guys, take a look at this. But really, like the bras I use, for everyone it's different. So I'd love to hear other people's opinions too. But when I travel, if I'm wearing one that's like an underwire and big and bulky, then I'm wearing it on the plane. If I'm packing it, I'm usually doing like a softer one that can be folded. I have been known to get away with a tank top, even though I have pretty big boobs. But that's just how I do it. So usually I'm stuffing it in here. So this whole cube has 7 pairs of underwear, socks. There's 2 bras in here, and there's a swimsuit in here. And if you pack it starting at the bottom here, and then you kind of you push down and shove it, rolling is really helpful. So you take this and kind of roll it small, and then pack it in, really starting at the top, and then close it up. The more compressed you can get it, the better. And then have it be, you know, give it a little pack, and there you go. Holly, I pack soft bras when I travel so they can smush. Yeah, the same with me here. Okay, so this is the next one. This is all of my tops. There's 5 tops in here. So again, I'm not gonna like go through everything, but you can see how they're kind of laid out and organized. So I will fold them, I'll roll them, and then I'll stick them in here. And then again, I'll pack it bottom to top. So I'll put the first few ones in, and then I will start closing it. and then I'll zip it shut so it's really super compressed in here. This one has my bottoms as well as the dresses. So this is a little bit of a bigger one. This is another nomadic one. So the same brand as that personal item that I have, that backpack. And they're really focused on, they're a little bit of a pricier company, but they're really focused on compression. So I don't know if you can see this. There's like multiple zippers that you can close to compress it even more and even more. In this particular case, there's a lot in here. So you start it like full like this, and then you pack things in. Again, you kind of pack it tightly. There's like 2 skirts in here. These are 2 jumpsuits. This is a pair of pants, and there's another, oh, and this is the dress here. This is good to show too. This is the dress I wore for the award show. So it's just a black dress. I mean, if you're traveling carry-on only, you're not going to be bringing a ball gown. So that was, I think, something important. But you can dress it up with accessories. So I think that's where accessories can be really helpful here. I also love to bring, sorry, I have the dogs in the background that are playing. Go away. I love to purchase accessories when I travel. So that's like my souvenir for myself, is I'll buy a pair of earrings, or I'll go thrifting and buy like a thrifted necklace or something like that. So, so pack simple and then accessorize to kind of up dress yourself. And then this one, I think is like, oh, I know. This packing cube has like pajamas and leggings, and it has an extra sweater in it. So, I actually don't usually bring a pajama top, to be honest, because I just use like a tank top or a shirt that I already have. But that's just a personal preference. You probably could fit one in here. And then once you have all of this in, it fits pretty neatly into the bag itself. See? So now you have your other side. So this is a hard case piece of luggage. It's from Delsey, which I love this luggage. I think, you know, people have different preferences on if they want to go hard or soft case. I think both have their merits. This one, I will say, you cannot overpack it quite like you can a soft case piece of luggage. That's the downside, is you really do have to be a little bit extra tough. And by tough, I mean like really making sure you're staying within the size constraints, because when you do close it, you have to make sure that it can close. And if stuff is kind of, you know, coming out of it, then it's not that easy. The other thing I'll note for those of you who are creators is I brought my podcasting mic, and rather than putting my podcasting mic in a very fancy case, I actually just kind of used the opportunity to sandwich it in with my clothes. So this is not, obviously I'll like wrap it a little bit more nicely, but I'll just take it and I'll kind of stick it right in there in my clothes, and then it's protected. It's very protected actually. So, and that's usually what I do when I buy something that's pretty breakable as well, is I'll just pack it in with my clothes. Sometimes I'll pack it into the packing cube if it's not overpacked. So here's the other side, which is a little bit freer. This I want to show you. These are, whenever I travel, I really try to travel with just flats and smushable flats. So again, we're talking warm weather, so there's like flip-flops and ballet flats. I literally did this entire trip with a pair of ballet flats, a pair of decently nice flip-flops that I actually could walk into a business meeting with, and some sparkly sneakers. And that was it. I think footwear takes up so much room that really just, you know, if you can survive not being fancy. I'm not really a footwear person, so for me, it doesn't matter. I know for other people, they really value their footwear. There are some brands out there that I've seen that make, I forgot what the company is called, but they make high-heeled shoes that you can take the heel off, which I thought was really interesting, and they're made for travel. So maybe Google that and see if you can find it. But again, I don't need a heel in order to live, so I'm fine. I also bring a little laundry bag. So that's just on the bottom that I use, kind of keep my clothes organized. And then I want to show you this, because this is all the tricks of the trade in here. So this is my toiletry bag. This is Bag Smart that creates this toiletry bag. There's a pocket on the outside that I keep my comb. And this is, I'll be honest, this is what I use every day. Like I just never unpack this. This is what I use like in my day-to-day life. It opens up into 4 compartments, and then it has a hook so you can hang it. So I just keep it on the door and I use it, and I'll show you some of the stuff that's inside. So you have the top section that has That's a loud notification. That has, you know, all the like floss and that sort of thing. It also has my Travalo in here. So see how like it just packs so well. Again, you can just take it off, use it. I actually had mine filled, used it every day for 3 weeks and didn't even make a dent, honestly. I think I used like less than a quarter of it when I was done. So these last a long time. And again, Damaris, to your question, you put your own perfume in them. So they're fantastic for that. And then the other thing that I will say that is really important is I got a few of these, and you can get these anywhere, but these are reusable containers for your liquid products. So for those of you, for all of us, because we're traveling carry-on only, it also means that you've got 3.4 ounces of liquid that you can bring at any given time. So having containers like these, I also have these ones that are a little bit hard-sided. These ones are soft. They have their pros and cons. I think the hard-sided ones are a little bit more, you know, they're always going to retain this shape. So if you're like really packing it tight, you're not going to be able to smush it like this one. As it gets a little bit more empty, you can smush it a little bit more. I've also found that the softer ones can be harder to clean, but the harder ones can be harder to get the stuff out. So it just depends, but they all work great. I do one with shampoo, one with conditioner. As a person with long hair, I have found that a lot of places don't stock conditioner anymore, and I absolutely need it, so I always bring my own conditioner. This is a shampoo and conditioner and body wash bar. This is by a company called Red Bud Suds. I think it's a woman-owned company, and I honestly don't really use them, but I always bring one just in case. You never know if something happens with your liquids. And then this is actually the only travel size thing I almost ever bring on a trip. It's a travel size toothpaste, because a lot of toothpaste is just not travel sized. So I just always have that with me. And then there's little stuff, nail polish, you know, moist towelette. Let's see if there's any questions in here. The other trick is if you have something valuable like the mic and you may be at risk of having the carry-on put under the plane, put the valuable things in your jacket or sweater pocket when you go through security and approach the plane door. Oh, put it in your pocket when you go through security and approach the plane door. Do that. Okay. Yeah. No, that's okay. That's a really good point. Yes. You can also put it in your personal item. That's something that you could do if you're worried about it. I know a lot of people, especially, so anything that is lithium rechargeable should be going in your personal item anyway, because to Barbara's point, if they do take it to put it underneath the plane, you don't want to spend the time having to like take everything out. So it's better and easier to just put all of your electronics in your personal item. But if you're traveling in such a way that you know that most likely that's not going to happen, you can do that. Let's see. And then, yeah, so then this is where I put like all my makeup in here. This is where I put all of my powdered makeup to keep it separate. And then it all, I think that's kind of it for this section. It all just folds into here. And then it closes up. And again, I just use this. This is like you literally just saw my everyday bag. So every day goes in there. So that leaves you with, and then you kind of wedge these into the side. Like literally every bit of space matters. So I'll put those in there. It's pretty fun. This is fun, guys. You wouldn't believe how much time it takes to pack these things sometimes. I was repacking a bag this morning. I brought a couple copies of my book because, of course, you can't travel without it. I brought a whole thing of business cards. I brought a whole thing of bookmarks. And I actually brought a lot more than this, but this is like 250 to 300 postcards. And then this is where I put my jacket, my work jacket. But you can also, I've put it inside my packing cube before too. I actually carried 2 jackets because I bought one while I was there. So, but yeah, I just folded that one up. Again, a packing cube would be good for this. And then I have all of my jewelry that I put in this little case here that has its own little thing. So again, I know like where all the jewelry is. I just keep it right in here. And I'm really using my space. So anything that's soft, I'm using it to cushion. Anything that needs cushioning, you're not really, no space is left unused. And you're just kind of repacking it like that. And keeping it. And the other thing that I love actually about traveling for business with marketing materials is that you're going to end up with space. So at the end of my trip, these were pretty much gone. These were pretty much gone. This was gone. So I had like a whole, it doesn't seem like a lot, but you sure can fit in a lot in here, like a quarter of a suitcase right here that I could add stuff and take away. So souvenirs and that sort of thing. And then you just lift it up, make sure it's all nice and tight, and you close it and you're good to go. How about that? So that's what I packed. There's, again, rolling is really helpful. I think reusing is really critical here. The one thing I also didn't mention is the concept of a capsule wardrobe. If you've heard of a capsule wardrobe, the idea is all of your items should match with each other. So then one set of pants could match with any of the tops that you have. So now if you have 5 tops, that's 5 different outfits that you could pair with that one set of pants if you wanted to. So traveling capsule wardrobe allows you to utilize all of your clothes to the best of the ability. If you're not super like color style oriented, I would just say like blacks and browns, you know, is kind of the way to do it. Not that you're wearing all black and all brown, but just like pick a category. So you're wearing things that go with black, and then you're wearing things that go with brown on another trip. And then if you just pack accordingly, then you're able to mix and match without thinking about it. All about a capsule wardrobe. Yes, Olivia. And I think that is what we have for my tips. I hope that this was really helpful for you. Here, I'm going to put it back on my other face. There I am. I hope that this was helpful for you. I'm curious if you have any questions, if there's anything that you want to know more about. But while we do that, and while we do Q&A, we do have a giveaway to do. So if you remember, we have 3 items that we're giving away to one lucky winner. We're going to do a random poll. These are all items from the Yuzi collection. Yuzi is our sponsor for this. They also are doing a giveaway on the, if you go on our Instagram right now, they're giving away a whole bunch of these Travalo sports that you can sign up to win. They're giving 10 of them away. But just for the purposes of this live event, we've got one of these really beautiful pashminas. It is double-sided too, so that's also really nice, is that you could use both sides for different reasons. You've got this awesome cell phone purse that's small enough you could just stick it in your personal item and have it for a day-to-day. And you've got one of these Travalo atomizers, which again is going to change the way you're traveling, especially if you're traveling for business and you want to bring perfume, but you don't want things to drop and spill and then make everything smell like perfume. So we have 27 people on this call. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a Google random number picker between 1 and 27. And we're going to see, it's going to be person number 8. So I'm going to see who pulls up on our feed as number 8. Sonia Backus, yay, Sonia, congratulations, you won. So send me a DM and we will get this all shipped out to you. And I hope you love it. You'll have to take a picture of it so that we can all see it. But I really appreciate you all coming. I hope that this was helpful. I hope you got some good takeaways. Barbara, I know you were asking about Europe travel in particular, so I hope that you got some good things there. The scarf brand is called Yuzi. I'm going to put it in here. And you can go to, so their website is just yuzi.com. But if you go into the women-owned travel database on the in the Wanderful member hub, you can find a code to use that 25% off coupon. So that 25% off is used on, I think, anything in their store, including the Travalo atomizers, but all of those things. So really good holiday gift, really good gift for yourself, something to put on your wish list. Check it out. In fact, in the chat here, I think I can pull it up for you so that you have that too. It's right in there in the Women-Owned Travel database when you go. Okay, here, I'm going to drop you the direct links that you can see how to use it. And there's a link there that you can use. And that's for you guys for being a Wanderful member. So congratulations, Sonia. And thank you all for taking some time. I hope this helps you with your next trip. If anyone is going on an exciting trip anytime soon and you want to share how you packed, we would love to do another workshop. Maybe it's more winter travel focused, maybe it's more leisure focused, less business, maybe it's about packing in a personal item. There's actually a workshop in our on-demand digital content library that is how somebody packed in like a fanny pack. It's called like ultra packing. It's something amazing. They packed for like a whole trip in a fanny pack. It was crazy. Check that out. But also, I hope we see you at some of our upcoming events. And thanks everybody for being here. You're so wonderful. It's so great to see you all. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.